They were the embodiment of love and adventure. Costas John Sivyllis and Lindsey Vogelaar had found their soulmates in one another. A love forged in the sky, bound by shared dreams, and sealed beneath the vast blue expanse. Just 4 days after their intimate wedding, they set off for what would tragically become their final flight together. Their story is one of brilliance, passion, and a heart-wrenching loss. A legacy cut far too short. Lindsey, radiant and full of life, was a beacon of joy to everyone who met her. Born in 1987, she graduated with a master's degree in international education from Grand Valley State University. She embraced the world with open arms, her passion for travel leading her to become a flight attendant with United Airlines in 2015. Always smiling, always ready to explore what the world had to offer, Lindsey was the kind of person who made others feel lighter, happier, just by being near her. And then there was Costas, her partner in the sky and in life. Born in 1990, Costas lived and breathed aviation. His love for flying began early, nurtured by the endless skies above and the planes he would watch with fascination as a child. After graduating from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, he soared in his career, quickly earning a coveted position as a first officer for United Airlines, flying massive Boeings. His talent was undeniable. Respected by peers, admired by students, Costas wasn't just a pilot. He was a mentor, a leader, and someone who never stopped dreaming.
First-year airline pilot, there are things that you run into that, maybe challenges. I found the biggest one, probably age. The traveling public generally pictures a seasoned airline captain that you would think of, from the 70s and 80s. So I walk on board and, in the boarding area, and it definitely causes some stares. And another personal thing is there's a very steep learning curve in terms of, scheduling and working with crews and dealing with certain issues on a day-to-day basis. Something that Ace Club has tried to break up. What is bidding? What is a contract? How does that affect you as your daily airline pilot life? So that's something that Ace Club has tried to actually, mediate and made the transition a little bit easier.
Together, they were unstoppable. They had met on a flight. Costas was the pilot, Lindsey the flight attendant, both working for United Airlines. Their love story began among the clouds, and their connection was as boundless as the sky itself. They shared a love for adventure and for each other, so deep and so pure that it radiated from them wherever they went. On October 1st, 2020, they married in the picturesque mountain town of Telluride, Colorado, surrounded by towering peaks and the endless horizon. It was just the two of them, quietly celebrating their love. They had their wedding photos taken beside their plane, a Beechcraft Bonanza they affectionately named Baby Blue. It was the perfect symbol of their life together, always flying, always reaching for something higher. Their honeymoon was short but sweet, filled with laughter, adventure, and the endless Colorado sky. They had found their own little paradise. But just 4 days later, on October 5th, the couple boarded Baby Blue for their final flight, eager to return home and continue building their future together. But fate had other plans. 8 minutes after takeoff, everything changed. As they ascended from Telluride Regional Airport, the sky was clear and the mountains stood tall and beautiful. But these mountains are unforgiving. Something was wrong. The thin air, the altitude, the steep terrain. Factors that even a skilled pilot like Costas couldn't outrun. The ground beneath them rose too quickly. The mountains loomed closer with every second. There was no distress call, no cry for help. Just silence as the plane fought a losing battle against the inevitable.
After a plane crashed near Telluride yesterday afternoon. The San Miguel Sheriff's Office says Costas Sivyllis and Lindsey Vogelaar were married just 4 days before they died in the crash. The two had a small wedding in Telluride and were on their way back to their home in Florida when the plane went down, just 15 minutes after takeoff. both worked in the airline industry. Now, Sivyllis was a United pilot and a flight instructor.
8 minutes. That's all it took. 8 minutes after takeoff, Baby Blue fell from the sky, crashing into the unforgiving terrain, buried deep in the cold, desolate heart of the mountains. Their lives, so full of promise, of hope, were extinguished in an instant. Costas and Lindsey, who had just begun their lives as husband and wife, were gone. The silence of the crash site now the only sound in a place where laughter once echoed, where love once soared. The sun set over the mountains that day, but for those who loved them, the light would never fully return.
Everyone that came across her just liked her. She just was that friendly, outgoing type. And that's not only locally here, but that's throughout the world. Say hi to your sister.
Hey, Cora. She was my best friend, and I talked to her every day and FaceTimed with her every single day. I was planning my life with my husband to move down to Florida to be with him.
Costas was just 30 years old. Lindsey, 33. They had their whole lives ahead of them. A future filled with plans, with hope, with the certainty that together they could face anything. But the mountains that they loved so much became their final resting place. It was his father who said it best: do what Costas did. Love life. Share the joy for life, and most of all, help others make their dreams come true. Costas lived by those words, and Lindsey lived by love. Together, they were a force, uplifting each other and everyone who had the privilege to know them.